So we're going to be talking about a crucial task for the health and maintenance of your deciduous fruit tree, whether it be a peach, a pear, an apple, a cherry, or in our case, our seed-grown apricot tree. And that vital task is pruning. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on how you can prune your apricot tree in its second year of growth, but this applies also to any of the trees that fall in the deciduous group. And well, this is the tree that we grew from seed. The one we thought actually was a peach because, you know, you can get confused when you forget to label things properly, seeds, and you have them in the fridge, and well, it's coming on really well. You compare this now to how it looked before it had that hard scaffold prune and it was growing all over the place, and it's growing some nice strong low fruit-bearing branches. It's coming on really well. So well, now it's time to give it that follow-up prune, to head back some of these low scaffold branches, to develop them further and to help them grow outward, to give the tree more structure, continue that training. And we want to be undertaking this pruning activity around the midpoint of the summer solstice, which for me in the Northern Hemisphere, that's about the end of July. And the reason for this is that's how we control our fruit tree's size and the way it's going to respond to that prune. And so, not to make this video longer than it needs to be, I'm going to pop a link up there for you where I talk on a lot more about why you want to be reserving your pruning activities for the midpoint of the summer solstice, how you can control your tree's growth and keep it at a manageable size, and what type of pruning you might want to do in winter. The link should have just popped up now. You can give that a click or watch it after you've watched this video. So let's dive in and get on with it. So why is this pruning crucial? This pruning we're going to do in the second year of the growth of our seed-grown tree is all about shaping the tree further. We're going to be encouraging healthy growth and ensuring good fruit production for the future. It's going to help to open up the canopy, ensuring even sunlight distribution and airflow, which is going to stave off disease and fungus attacks, which prunus is quite liable for. Plus, we're going to be working on those low fruit-bearing branches that we developed from our scaffold cut, helping to develop a strong framework for future fruit production. So you're not going to need many tools. You're going to need a nice pair of sharp cutters and some disinfectant spray, which is just alcohol, where we can spray down our cutters if we're going from plant to plant, so we don't transmit any diseases and infections from one plant to another. A pair of thin cutters like this can be quite handy for doing some finer pruning when the branches are not too thick. And before we dive right in like Edward Scissorhands chopping away, we want to take a moment to try and understand how our tree is growing, its structure. Have a little look around your tree. By the second year, your tree should have grown some nice scaffold branches that are going to be bearing your fruit. They're your scaffolds. We've got 3 nice scaffold branches developed, and we're going for an open vase style prune, so that's going to be keeping all this open so that we get maximum light penetration. So let's begin our pruning process, and I like to ease into this by making those easy decisions by removing anything that's diseased or dead. These branches are not going to contribute anything to our tree's growth, could even harm it. And by removing those first, it helps us then to see better, more clearly, what our tree is doing, how it's growing. And that can help us to make those bigger decisions on what else we're going to remove, what other branches we're going to head back. So I haven't really got much what's diseased or dead on this tree. It's doing really good. But I have got a few little twigs that I'm just going to snip away. I'm going to use my fine snips for that. I'm just going to get rid of all these little bits of dead wood, and that's just going to help us to see better the structure of our tree so we can know where to go going forward. What I've learnt from trial and error is you're better off cutting twice than cutting once and then regretting that you'd removed the branch completely. If you're not completely sure at this stage, you just cut away that diseased branch to a healthy bud point. In the future, then you can always remove more. At this point, you might want to spray down your shears for when you start pruning back healthy parts, just not to spread infection onto the rest of your plant. So next, another easy decision to make in the pruning process is to remove anything that's growing towards the centre. We're going for an open vase, so we want our centre open and free. So anything that's growing inward, we're going to remove that. Any suckers that are growing near the base, that are basically sucking away the energy from the plant and maybe compete with the fruit-bearing branches, that's again something else we can remove. We haven't got any suckers near the base, but we have got a lot of branches growing in the centre, so I'm going to remove them now. So anything that can be crowding out our canopy. For instance, we've got a branch here that is taking light from the centre. That's an easy decision to make. I know that's got to go. Just above the collar of the branch. As we continue to open up the tree a little, it's going to help us to keep making better decisions. You see, we've kind of got a sucker here that we don't really need, because that's going to be our fruit-bearing branch, and we don't want another branch growing right there, so close to the base. So we'll get rid of him. Got a few more dead branches there we can just snip away. Look, there we got another one. Where's that branch going to grow? It's going to crowd out our centre if we allow it to keep going. So it's another one we can get rid of. This we can get rid of because it's going to be crowding out that other fork that we've got, so we'll get rid of that too. And this one here, look, see how that's going to crowd into our centre, so that's another easy decision. Get rid of that for now. Maybe we'll get rid of this as well, but I'll think about that for now. Okay, so you can just see we've took very little material and we've already opened up that centre a lot more. You can see the light is actually shining on these inner branches. That's going to help keep our tree nice and dry. It's going to allow the sun to dry up our branches in winter when it's raining a lot more, and that's going to stave off any fungus, especially prunus is especially prone to getting attacked by fungus diseases. Look, he's going to grow. If you look at that branch there, that's going to eventually grow into the centre, so we can get rid of him as well. We always want to be trying to prune so our tree continues to grow outwards. We always want to be keeping our centre nice and open. So we're going to trim our scaffolds back about 1/3. We're going to be taking it just above a bud, pointing away from the tree. We've got a bud here, look, focusing away from the tree. And I'm going to just take him back here. That's just a bit more than 1/3 in this case. This one's growing way too up for my liking, but we can direct it by picking a bud. Imagine we pick this bud here. It's going to develop our tree to keep growing outwards, so I'm going to cut it up there like that. I think we can get rid of him. That back a bit there, that there. Taking away any branches that seem to be growing downwards as well. So we're opening up the tree. We've been removing our branches back about 1/2 to 1/3 because we want our tree to be continue to grow, pointing away from the main plant. It's going to help to encourage branching. Look, that's growing in the inside, so we want to remove that. This one too. Anything that's going to be growing inward, we can get rid of. Maybe I'm not being brutal enough. Let's get rid of that too. And I think there we got it. I think that'll develop nice. I think this branch here, it's not needed. It's heading up, it's competing with this branch, and that's actually heading. It's heading in the direction we want it to go. So let's remove him. We'll get rid of that little branch there too, because that's going to just grow inside. So there you have it, our apricot tree is ready to continue developing and growing strong. I'm thinking I might just wire this down onto the bottom of the pot, just to help to develop that branch a little bit better, to grow it a bit lower and outward. Regular pruning like this is going to help to ensure a well-structured tree that will grow at an appropriate size and bear fruit for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit that like button. That tells YouTube that you enjoyed this video. Helps me out tremendously because YouTube will recommend it a lot more. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that bell notification so that you actually see when a new video comes out and you don't miss a single thing. If you guys want to watch another video, then, well, click on the video that's just popped up here. If you guys want to watch another video, then, well, click on the video that's just popped up here. 5 ways how you can manage pests organically in your garden. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.